Live from downtown Vancouver at the Vancouver Film School campus, it's time for EP Live. Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool not every single day, although we have been putting out content almost every single day these days. It is that time of year, the Game Avalanche, I like to call it, and we've got a bunch of reviews in today's episode. I hope some of you have been able to watch the review of Luigi's Mansion 3 that I did with Johnny Millennium. So this is a very big Monday, and we're actually talking about something very cool. We're partnering up with Extra Life, and we're going to tell you all about that very soon. But let's get started with your rundown, which is dedicated to Joel Ruiz, who says, you guys, Vic and Johnny, watch the Luigi's Mansion 3 review, are great together. I like it when you don't quite agree. Just let loose, man. Siskel and Ebert style. Well, I created reviews on the run in the model of Siskel and Ebert, so you got that one. Joel Ruiz, let's get started with your rundown. Sony's big PlayStation exclusive Death Stranding isn't going to be a PlayStation exclusive after all. Developer Kojima Productions has announced that the game will be coming to the PC in summer 2020 after its timed exclusive release on the PS4 next week. There were hints that the game would get a PC version when it was first announced back in 2016, but this is the first official confirmation. No other details about the port have been revealed, but don't be surprised if the PC port looks even better than the PS4 or PS4 Pro version if you have the right hardware. I am very much looking forward to sinking lots of time into Death Stranding. I haven't got the code yet, but that's okay. I've been reviewing a lot of stuff, but I am very, very psyched to see what Kojima and his team have been up to. The game is very mysterious, purposefully so, I believe, but I've heard murmurs that there's something really, really remarkable about this title. I'm not surprised that Sony isn't footing the bill for the whole thing or purchasing Kojima Productions and bringing them into the fold. These are very, very expensive decisions. Also, if you guys recall, Andrew House was a part of the big announcement that Sony was working with Kojima Productions back in, 2017 or something, 2016, after the fallout with Konami. And then Andrew House left PlayStation. There's been a lot of changes at Sony and PlayStation, and there's also been some changes at Kojima Productions over this time as well. It's not easy to start a studio and create a brand new original game and also publish it and launch it. So if this game turns out to be incredible, and I think we all hope that it is, it will be a remarkable achievement and presumably one that's going to lead to potential sequels if this is sort of hitting the marks that everybody wants it to hit. Now, it is a little troubling that PlayStation isn't taking this in as an exclusive. That does kind of suggest that they thought maybe this isn't right in our portfolio, which is a little weird, I would hazard to guess that if Sony had the ability to purchase the rights to Metal Gear Solid and make it part of their portfolio, they probably would do that as long as Kojima was a part of that equation. But yeah, so now I'm more curious than ever to get my hands on Death Stranding, but I hope it's amazing. Now, Microsoft wants to make it easier for players to get the next Xbox console. They've announced that their upcoming console, codenamed Project Scarlett, will be available as an upgrade through their Xbox All Access subscription service. Right now, Xbox All Access gives users an Xbox One along with access to a library of games through Xbox Game Pass. And when Project Scarlett launches next year, users will be able to upgrade to the new console as long as they've been a subscriber for at least 18 months. Microsoft hasn't revealed how much the console will cost if you go to the store and buy it up front. More details will come in before it launches in holiday 2020. It's probably going to be about $400 to $500 US, probably tipping more in the $500 range. What is interesting is that there are rumors that Sony's going to launch with two versions of their machine, like a Pro version and a regular version. So I wonder if Xbox will do that as well, like we just saw with the S and the X. So yeah, we're going to see a lot of information, and certainly this subscription service where you get hardware is kind of an onboard to the inevitable future where hardware is just an ingredient that's removed from that equation, and you'll be able to play all this software wherever a screen may be in front of you, which I think is what xCloud is all about and what Microsoft is kind of inching towards with its Game Pass and its xCloud and its Xbox Live services. I'm sure they're wanting to get it all into probably a tasty $10 a month US kind of account, and you'll be able to get all of that stuff. But that's not going to be for a while. They've got a new console to sell us next year. Getting fired up for all of this, though. I think it's going to be exciting to see the footage that's going to be achievable with some of the software, really kind of underlining the value of 4K gaming, I think, for the first time. I think it's been pretty easy to look at 1080p footage on traditional, PlayStation 4s and traditional Xboxes, and certainly the Switch as well, and say, well, that looks good enough to me. But I think next year, 4K gaming on console at home becomes the real deal, and I'm excited about that. Now, Disney wants to make one of their biggest franchises seaworthy once again. A reboot of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise is on the way. Variety reports that the studio and producer Jerry Bruckheimer have hired Chernobyl creator Craig Mazin to craft a brand new story following previous reboot attempts from other writers. The last film, Dead Men Tell No Tales, was released in 2017 but failed to live up to box office expectations, so it's no surprise that Disney wants to set the franchise on a new course. It's unclear what future, if any, that might leave for franchise hero Captain Jack Sparrow, played by Johnny Depp. I love Johnny Depp in this role, but I've hated almost every one of the movies. They've all been so boring. I like the first movie. I thought the second movie had some unbelievably cool special effects and kind of progressed the story along a bit. But then it just they went crazy. They lost their minds with those movies, and they added a million characters, and you cared about none of them. And it was like they just parachuted Johnny Depp in to kind of whip up some kind of weird frenzy, and you didn't believe any of it. And they lost a lot of money, and they just became stupid. They became these big vehicles, I think, that, instead of ships on the water, Disney just saw giant piles of money floating around, and they would throw all kinds of famous actors at these things, and they were bad. And it was exhausting going to see those movies and reviewing them, and they were just bad. But through it all, I think Johnny Depp is a pretty unbelievably good, fun performer. He just has to have the right material, and he has to be in the right state of mind, because I think he has also gone a little bit crazy with all of the Pirates of the Caribbean money that he's had. Hopefully, a lot of the controversy in his life gets cleaned up, and he remains a part of this, because it would be very weird to see anybody else be Captain Jack Sparrow if they put that character back into these movies. And I don't know how you make a Pirates of the Caribbean movie without Captain Jack Sparrow. Has anybody been to Disneyland recently? They've retrofitted all of the, Captain Jack sort of moment. Like Johnny Depp and his voice is all over the theme park. And that's what it's all based on, and that's what Disney wants you to go and see these movies, so that you'll go to the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, which is still one of the best rides at the park. It'd be so weird if Johnny Depp wasn't a part of it, but if he isn't, it's because of the BS that he's been pulling. All right, the new TV series Batwoman might be polarizing audiences, but that doesn't mean the network isn't satisfied. The CW has given a full season order to the new Arrowverse show, meaning it will get a full 22 episodes this season. We're still waiting to find out if it will be renewed for a second season, although the full season pickup is a pretty good sign. Batwoman is the fifth series set in the shared Arrowverse, and the network is rumored to be developing several more. We might get hints about what's to come in the Crisis on Infinite Earth crossover event, which hits the airwaves in December. And one of the big sort of rumors that's just starting to circulate as of today is that CW and Greg Berlanti and his team and DC Comics are all working on a Superman and Lois Lane show starring Tyler Hoechlin as Superman, which kind of puts the nail in the coffin that we'll ever see Henry Cavill in the super suit again, I think, or at least for a long time. Maybe they're thinking Henry Cavill comes back as like a Kingdom Come Superman or something like that. Personally, I think they should just hire Brandon Routh again and let him play a wiser, older, more mature Superman on the big screen if they ever get the Justice League stuff sort of churning back up again. Excited about a Superman show. And I am behind on Batwoman, but I am going to watch, I think the fourth episode airs this week, right? I think they've done 2, 3, and 4 and airs this week. So I'll probably do another a recap review of a few episodes after I've watched them. I think the CW, they're losing Arrow. They need a dark show that's going to kind of slot in with the other stuff. They've got Supergirl, they've got Legends of Tomorrow, which is kind of a little bit more cartoony. Supergirl's a little bit lighter. The Flash is super bright and hopeful. and they can't really change the tones of those shows too much, otherwise they're going to alienate a lot of the fan base. So I think they kind of need to have a darker show that sort of fits alongside in there. Hopefully, Batwoman continues to grow and improve. Like a lot of these shows, they're roller coaster rides. You never know. You don't get excellent episodes every single time, but if you give these shows enough time to kind of find their way, they get better. So hopefully it does get better. I'll watch some more episodes and I'll let you guys know what I think very soon.